Hello, Gary Champion, psychic medium once again. And I'm looking around because this is a painful video. It's the first one where you can really make comments. Um, didn't do them for a while, but I'm back. The big picture for us as humans is that we're searching for the truth. That's what we're doing individually. One thing I know for sure, you can't find your individual truth by going down somebody else's road. The little groups that you belong to that have tribal belief systems about what they think is right and wrong. In the early days of the world, uh, separate little tribes existed, and let's say someone got lost from this tribe and wandered into this tribe, they were probably like they thought they were on Mars because they had a whole new set of beliefs depending on who the leader was. This tribe believed that dark clouds meant that the crops wouldn't grow, or whatever their tribal beliefs were. Person wanders into this tribal group, and they made the dark clouds just mean rain, good for the crops. So they had to relearn a whole new set of rules, as one of the other way to say it, just to survive within that group. Years and years go by. Now we're sort of a collective group of people and a mishmash out there, but we still belong to these tribes. We go to meetings, we say, yes, these are rules established by the people who established the group that you belong to, the little tribe that you belong to. Whether it's a Rotary, the Lions Club, secret handshake groups, um, whether you wear a badge, whatever you do, there are tribal rules that you don't break. Otherwise, you don't belong in the tribe. You belong in the tribe because you follow the rules set by people who are at the head of the tribe. Every tribe's got a leader. Believe me, you work for a certain company, whoever owns that company makes the rules. If you work at that company, there are tribal rules. You can't wear jeans on Friday. You can wear jeans on Friday. You can't do this. You don't go home before that. You have to turn in these reports by a certain time. Certain rules. That's not your truth. Your truth is a constantly evolving thing, which is what it's supposed to be. It's not static. I like walking in the rain, for a weird example. Um, I find it very relaxing. I don't mind that I'm getting wet. Doesn't bother me. Other people, oh, it's raining. I can't go out. Well, it's a terrible day. It's dark. It's cloudy. Look at that lightning. Ooh, hear that thunder? And interesting thing is that a person who's afraid of thunder and lightning, their animals are afraid of thunder and lightning. Begins to thunder, the dog runs under the bed, under a couch. He cowers down. He hides because that's what his owner's done. That's the tribal rule of that household. When it begins to thunder and lightning, everybody hides. Oh, I thought I like to get out in the rain. It's never hurt me any. I guess I'd be worried if I were a witch or something and rain would dissolve me. What is that in that Wizard of Oz? Help me, I'm melting. No, um, rain clears my mind. It clears the air too, makes it nice to breathe. So there's all kinds of good things. Makes the crops and grass grow. Um, two different tribes, two different beliefs. I believe that thunder and lightning is entertaining. It's nature's fireworks. You can't find your truth by going down someone else's road. You can't find your truth by listening to other people saying, this is the truth. And as time goes on, when I first started in this business, when I was a kid, I knew of one medium, one, and he lived 20 miles out of town in a town I'd never been to before. You had to drive 20 miles down a dirt road to find him. And he was a strange dude, but he was, for himself, the truth. And he could help you with your truth, but he could not be your truth. A few years later, I was going into a convention building where they were talking about psychic abilities, not psychic medium abilities, two different things. And I shook the hand of a guy at the door, and I knew he was reading me, and he knew I was reading him. He just looked at me, and I nodded, and he looked at me, and now you can't go outside without there being a crowd of them. And when I first moved to this town I live in now, there were 4 or 5, 2 or 3 maybe, and a couple of really good mediums, and the rest of them were not. Now there's pages and pages of them. So as it becomes acceptable for you to be a psychic or a medium, the more it tends to pop out in people. Oh, it's okay. It's okay for me to be this way. And the interesting thing is, by developing your psychic or mediumistic abilities, the truth's pretty easy to find. Self-discovery of what your truth is, what your path is, where you belong. And don't get stuck in that, I belong here because this is the tribe I belong to, because that's crap. Tribes are temporary, they're little fiefdoms. In a fiefdom in medieval Europe, you farm the land, you do this, you clean the castle, you carry a sword, clearly defined roles. If you're a woman, you're having babies because that guy wants to continue his fiefdom, his little kingdom. So, and believe it or not, there's a lot of areas in the world that are still like that. Women don't have any choice in anything. Not in America. In America, you can, world's whatever you want it to be. But I doubt that king he'd lop my head off for saying, hey, buddy, I don't want to do that. Off with his head. Anyway, self-discovery is an inward journey. And someone can point out little things that help you get on that path to the inward journey, but they can't take it for you, take that trip for you. They can't even go with you. We're each evolving differently. Unless you belong to a lot of tribes, then you're staying stagnant. The truth is not a stagnant thing. It's always changing. The truth for you, I would think, at its core, is probably the same. And then a lot of the things change. How you go down your path changes, but your path probably doesn't change at all. At my core, I have a path. I know what it is. I've been on it since I was a child, since I was 6. So this is a thinking video. Forget about what you think you know, because what you know is something that somebody else told you. In some families, you eat dinner, you wash the dishes. In other families, they just throw them in the sink. Oh, hell, we'll get to them later. Doesn't matter. Your family is a little tribe. You could choose not to have dishes. Cook it in a pot and eat it out with a spoon. All I'm saying is you have choices. By following other people's rules that are set down systematically for the person who runs that tribe, you're following their path. Your path is out there somewhere. And you can't discover it by going down somebody else's path. You have to find it by finding your path and going down that. Truth is different for everybody. It's not a sliding scale unless you're a constant liar. Then whatever the truth you think it is, you can say that. It's not the real truth. Inside, you know it's not. Greed often leads to funny rules that benefit not the collective, but this person, and sort of helps the collective. Each of us are our own tribe, is all I'm saying. The more tribes you belong to, the more groups you belong to, the less of you actually exist. It's a thinking video. That's all it is. A little heavy for today. So I'm throwing this out there. Think about it a little bit, because when you don't think about it, you end up the same. And as your psychic abilities, psychic medium abilities evolve, the interesting part is the truth becomes something everybody knows. If I walk into a building, I'm reading each of them. As I pass them, I get a little something from them. Yes, it's tiring. Think of yourself as totally different. You're an island out in the ocean with your own thoughts, likes, and dislikes. Whenever someone starts pointing their finger at you and telling you this is the rule, begin to find a back door or cut one in the wall to get out of, because that road doesn't go anywhere for you, because your truth is different. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.